I don't know how many of you were here 6 years ago tomorrow. That was when that unlikely occurrence happened, when you start with 1% and you had this crazy idea you could become a U.S. Senator. It was never a crazy idea to me. Most people thought it was, including, I think I saw some friends from Jasper here earlier, but yeah. Imagine, for those of you that know Alan Kunkel, my insurance agent, when I asked him for a contribution, and he said, "Mike, you need to have your damn head examined." And I thought after that grilling, he'd at least cut me something with 4 digits. It was $150. So it's been a heck of a journey. I think back to when Maureen and I decided to move back to our hometown long time ago. Big decision. She was the first entrepreneur in the family. Got me beat by 3 years. But how important that is, because you never know where life is going to take you. That was a tough dynamic, because when you were climbing a hill that steep, you wondered, can you make it? All I know, that was 15 months, probably 6 days a week, 14 to 18 hours each day. And you do wonder, but you keep working at it, you have a good gut feel for it, you actually have something that's going to be marketable in the political marketplace, and here you are. I've been a big believer in term limits at the federal level. Was never going to do, let's hear it for that. And while we're doing it, let's get a balanced budget amendment. Until we get that, folks, the country is never going to be on solid ground like our founders intended it to be. They would have never borrowed money from their kids and grandkids for their latest and greatest political idea. We never want to go there as a state, and you can be guaranteed that's not going to happen. And I think it's going to be up to the states to show how we get this country back to where the founders intended it to be. Freedom and opportunity, the two most important things. I look at what the founders did in those heady times when everything was on the line. They didn't want to be under the thumb of somebody telling them from afar, from the top down, what to do. Sadly, we've evolved into it. The brilliance of our system, it's federal. It's made up of 50 states. If you live in one, you got 49 other choices. And sooner or later, you got to make sure government gets back to the people at the levels where you're going to be accountable and you can get things done. That's what I intend to do. You do too, don't you, Maureen? I do. Okay, my goodness. You push the limits when you do have those cockamamie ideas of you're wanting to get into politics when you've been 37 years in the real world. And Dare, thank you so much for being my biggest supporter. So blessed with 4 kids, all of them are on the stage here, 7 grandkids by now. I feel like a very lucky individual. When you decide to leave that world and get into this one, you do have to be careful because a lot of pitfalls along the way. You can see we've come through just now this evening, that first hurdle jumped with the feistiest, most competitive primary we've had in the history of our state. Yeah, I mean, that's where we ended up. Yeah. And I've already had 3 folks that I ran against aggressively call in, wish me well, want to get on board, so we beat the other side of the aisle when it comes to the election in November. two things in this business. You need to have very thick skin. If you don't have it, develop it quickly. I'll never forget, I was so euphoric on May 8th of 2018 after that tough primary battle. And I had about 2 days of reprieve, and then the wrath of Chuck Schumer and George Soros descended upon that general election. And if you think this was nasty, remember back then. The nature of politics gets so vitriolic, and it's gotten so expensive, something's got to give over time. We need to do better than that. The key is we got to come back together. Once you have the battle, you go through the competition, you articulate the issues. It's for the good of everyone. Yes, that's what it should be. I've got an agenda out there you can look at. I'm not going to repeat it here, but I intend to be the most entrepreneurial governor our state has ever had. I can guarantee you I'm going to be the most accessible governor the state has ever had. And if you haven't been paying attention, I visit all 92 counties every year, many of them more than once a year. And if you don't see me then, come visit me in Jasper. I'm going to generally be there on most Fridays. You twist my arm, I'll let you take me out to eat at the Schnitzelbank restaurant. So there's a lot we can get done collectively. I want to go back to what I said earlier. When you run these campaigns, it's about fleshing out what the important issues are. And you have thick skin to get through it, and then you have to be very forgiving and don't hold any grudges if you're going to actually get something done once you jump the first hurdle and then when we jump the next one in November. Amen. That's how we take this state to the next level, and I can't wait to do that. And we've got some business ahead of us, and I get up early and go to bed late. That's true, isn't it? And generally feel good every day and have a joyful approach even to the job I've had the last 5.5 years. And if everything I know, I'd do that again. Because those of us that have been blessed in the real world need to make sure we'll actually stick our neck out and get involved in that world, or you're going to end up someday just like the founders were, where they weren't happy with the way that worked. And we can do all that, I think, state by state. I really do. So my family and my staff, many from DC, almost everyone here from Indiana are here. All of my friends, many of you were here 6 years ago, and thank you so much. We are headed onto a journey that I hope you challenge me, I'll be challenging you, and we're going to take this state to a place we've never seen before. Thank you so much. Now, I'm going to give you one little other piece of information most politicians wouldn't. I'm going to probably stay here until the last one of you leaves this evening. I've just got to go about 12 minutes down the road to my sister's house, Greg and Janet Ostendorf. And all I can tell you, that is the best bed and breakfast in the state of Indiana, and they've done that for no charge, mostly. Thank you so much.